All right, all right, all right. Hello, hello, hello. We have a wonderful show for you this evening. We have a gentleman that you probably all have seen and know. His name is Markice Moore. If you've heard of shows like ATL, well, the movie ATL, also BMF. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. So we're gonna chop it up with him today. Everybody, give a warm welcome to Markice Moore. Hey,
Yeah. All right.
Hey,
All right.
Marquise.
Yeah.
Marquise, what's up,
Yes.
man? How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
All
Can y'all hear me
right.
good?
Well, oh yeah. Oh yeah. We got you. We got you. So Marquise, I mean, your resume is impeccable. BMF, at ATL, right? Y'all help me out here because my brain is farting right now. ATL,
Snowfall.
BMF, Walking Dead, right? Snowfall, like those right there are. And then and I don't know if anyone remembers you from G's to Gents. That's where it all started, right? That's where it all started. So, but for people who may not know about you, like and they're seeing you for the first time, like how would you just introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm actor, producer, artist Marquise Moore. I've been in the industry in the business for 21 years now. Started with ATL, that was my first role, and since then I've been blessed, man, to get roles that moved my career forward. I would say, and now I'm stepping into the producing and writing and all that stuff. It's just been a great journey.
Oh, yeah. So when you look back on that journey, I mean, so far, like what stands out to you the most?
As far as what, like, as far as like my journey itself.
Lessons you've learned. Yeah, your journey. What is like inspired you the most? What keeps you pushing?
Doubt, honestly. Um,
Mm.
I'm driven by people's doubt. I probably shouldn't be, but I am. So a lot of times, I had these I always had big ideas for myself. And when people told me I couldn't do it, it was kind of like, okay, well, now I really, really want to do it. So I think that's
Yeah.
what really kept me going as an actor more than anything, because a lot of people felt like, you know, I got lucky. And it was, oh, you got lucky, you got in that movie. You ain't no movie actor, you ain't no actor. Even my mom at one point was like, I believe it when I see it. You know what I mean? It became one of those things where like, okay, I got to show people I'm serious about this. And I think that's what drove me the most, was proving
I
to
like
people
that.
that I'm an actor. Like, I'm not just
I
some
like
rapper that,
that.
Yeah.
you know what I mean? This is who I am. I think, yeah, the doubt is what made me push all these years to keep going.
That's dope. That's dope because I feel like when you have people not believing in you, it makes you want to prove them wrong
Yeah,
and then kind of work a little harder. Yeah,
facts.
I love that. I love that. I love that. Now, what do you hope people understand about you beyond what they see on the screen?
I'm human.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a human being. I'm full of mistakes and bullshit sometime, and I'm just a man experiencing life without instructions. I'm not an actor, on this platform that has this exceptional life and doesn't make mistakes. I'm a human
Yeah,
being just going through the motions of life. That's
right.
what I would want people to get the most from me. Yeah,
That's I think audiences forget sometimes that the person behind the
they do.
screen is a freaking human being, right?
Yeah,
Like,
they do.
yeah, he got to use the bathroom just like everybody else. Like,
Right.
what the?
Literally. No, there's people that probably believe I don't take, go to the bathroom. It's truthfully though, like, oh, you take shits? Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. That's funny. Now let's talk about your beginnings because G's to Gents. I mean, it was G's to Gents was a thing, right?
Yeah.
What was that
Yeah.
experience like? Like, tell us about that.
Um, geez, the gents, man. Where do I start? I'll say this. I was 18 years old. If I can go back, 18 or 19, if I can go back and talk to that kid, I would hug him. I would give him a huge hug because he was just
Mhm.
angry and hurt and violent and just full of, I don't know what you would call that. And I carry that energy like every day.
Mm.
It's exhausting. If anything, I would just go hug him and be like, dog, relax. Like you're gonna kill yourself trying to be this tough guy, bro. Let it go. Yeah, I would tell him let it go. Let
Oh
that
man.
shit
Oh
go,
man.
man. That was a time in my life where I wasn't playing a role like that. That's who I believed I was at that time. I thought I was this little tough dude that can just go around doing whatever I wanted to do, beating up people, punch people all in the face, and all types of crazy stuff. And that wasn't right. So I'm not ashamed of it, but I would say if I had to go back, I would say, hey man, relax. You don't have to play this role. You don't gotta be this
Yeah.
character. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah. You don't want that to be the thing people really remember you for because you're doing so
Yeah,
many other wonderful things now.
true. But you'll have
Yeah.
people that's gonna always say, I know you from G's and Gents, you was a wild boy. Like they'll never forget it. But I
Yeah.
don't like you just said I don't want it to be the all of who I am. And I think I've done a good job, at least I hope so, of distancing myself from that and other things in my past. And I'll continue to do so.
Yeah. Now, at that point, did you see yourself in entertainment long term, or was the reality show just something you did for? Was so?
Nah.
How did what happened? So, what
Um,
inspired you to pursue acting?
well, I was doing music. I don't know if you knew this, but I was an artist first. I was signed to Divine Stevens in Atlanta. So I had a record deal. My whole thing was music. So I was like looking at it more like this gonna give me a fan base so I can drop my music. Acting has always been, in my mind, the pedestal to get me into, music. I never
Right,
looked
right.
at it as me wanting to be an actor. So it was more so like I'm gonna do this, show I'm tough, show I'm hard, show I'm really like that. You know what I mean? So that my
Mhm.
fans would, fall into my music. It didn't happen that way.
Right, right. So, but you are working on music now, though, right?
Yeah, I
That's
still make
that's what.
music. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's awesome. Oh my gosh. So,
Yeah.
tell us about that. Tell us about that. So, what are you working on now? And just
Yeah.
tell us what you're working
Yeah,
on.
sure. So with my music, this is gonna sound crazy, but I make about 2 or 3 songs a day. And
Wow.
it got to the point where I put them out on Apple Music and all that stuff. And I was like, for the amount of fans and streams that I'm getting, I'm not making no real money. Like the most I've made in music was like $300. Mind you, this was with I think 3 million streams total. And I'm like, this ain't right. This is off. I'll never be able to really make any real money. So I removed a lot of my music from those sites like Apple Music, and I created my own DSP. It's called vaultmusic.cc, and all my music lives there now. People can sign on. It's a subscriber based system, so they can sign on monthly to get unlimited music from me.
That's
And,
dope.
and really what it did was it made me have to interact more directly with my fans
Yeah.
because there's no machine behind me. So now I get online, I go on TikTok, I record music live, I
Hmm.
post the music, and then fans buy it directly through my subscription. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So it gives me kind of like a direct to market setup, and I
Yeah.
love it. I love the
Direct to
intimacy of it.
Yeah.
consumer. Direct to
Yeah,
consumer. Absolutely.
it's called
Yeah.
vaultmusic.cc if anybody's interested.
Yeah, of course. So let me ask a question because the music industry has evolved, right, in such a
Yeah,
way that prior to the labels or the label heads would decide who was going to be the next hot thing.
right.
And now with this new way people are doing things like with the vault, you go direct to consumer and the consumer decides what they like and you get to eat that way. How do you feel about that evolution and where do you think it's going to go?
I love it. I mean, I came up in the era of music where literally, like, I would make a mixtape and go sell it on, get the CDs pressed up at
Mm-hmm.
Office Depot and then go sell it on the corner. So
Yeah.
to be able to kind of tap back into that, it brings out that old hustler in me. Like, I would much rather produce a product, put it out on the block, you know what I mean, and work that block
Mhm.
versus trying to put it on Apple and hope I get a million streams. I'm okay with,
Right.
230 people locking in with me every week or every month if I'm dropping new music, and I'll build it from there. I love it. I think it puts the power
Yeah.
back in the artist's hands, but it prevents us having to bottleneck and become this brand that we feel like will get attention. Like everybody feels that they got to be a certain way to get fans.
Mhm.
I feel like that's
Mhm.
bullshit, and labels have made it that way because they only popularize, the bullshit. I'm like, nah,
Mhm.
man, there's people that want to hear what I have to say. I just have to find them and keep feeding them, and that's what I
That's
plan on
right.
doing.
That's right. That's so dope. I love that. Now, with your acting, right? Were there any roles that played like a pivotal point or like a turning point in your career?
Mm.
Um, you know what I mean? Anything that really was a big deal for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Point Blank. We call
Mm.
Point Blank Anthony, who's now Captain America. It was the first time I I'd gotten a character that the director let me cultivate. So me and the director pretty much built this character from the ground up. And I thought that was, for me, that was an amazing process because I never had that much control. And it turned out dope. I was able to trust my instincts. And I think that was my best performance ever on camera. And seeing myself in that light opened up my mind to think, okay, I can be a leading man. Because I feel like I commanded that scene. And it was like one of those things where people always say, that was your best scene. And I had to prove myself in that area. Like, can I hold my own against some of the heavyweights? And I feel like I did that well in point blank. And it opened up the door for people to look at me as a leading actor.
Now, are you drawn to specific types of characters? Like, are there or is there a role that you like a dream role that you want to play one day?
Yeah, there is. I want to play Elijah Muhammad in a biopic on his life.
You could do that.
Yeah, that would be. Oh my God, that's perfect.
You would be good for that
Yeah.
role.
You got
Definitely.
the you got the look for that, yo, pause. Yeah, you got that. You got the look for that.
And the story would be a love story. I wouldn't make it about the politicizing of his, his religious aspects. It would be more about the love story between him and Clara Muhammad. That's a dream role of mine. Before I get too old, I want to play Elijah Muhammad.
That's so dope. Now, like, what? So you've been in a lot of different things. What have those experiences taught you about your range as an actor?
That's a great question. It's taught me I got to be careful. Acting is interesting. If you're really, really good at it, your subconscious doesn't know that you're acting. So what starts to happen is, your life will start to reflect the roles that you play. So you got to be very careful when you really lock in on a role, because your mind can't tell the difference. So a lot of times I started seeing things happening in my real life that were more like my characters. And I'm like, yeah, nah, I got to be careful of this, because you can easily slip into believing that you are this person. Think about it like this. If you're working on a project, let's just say 3 months out of the year. No, let's say 6 months out of the year. You're only yourself for 3 months, or 6 more months. You know what I mean? So you really become these characters, especially if you're with the crew all day, every day, and your job is to embody this role. After a while, some of that will start to seep into your personality. And if you don't check it, it could become a major part of who you are. And that's not always a good thing. At least in my cases, it wasn't a good thing.
Right, because of the characters, the type of characters you were playing.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
And how far I would go to portray them.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm a
tell us about
actor.
your method. Like tell us about your, like how did
It's
you
dangerous.
I
wouldn't recommend doing it. I wouldn't recommend anybody to do it. It's a very dangerous process. I take it too serious. Because to be honest with you, I wasn't trained. I wasn't a trained actor. So the only way I know how to do a good job is to dive into it. I don't, I learned later techniques and all those things, but starting out, my thing was I have to be this in order to get this role. They got to know I'm like that in order to get this role. I wasn't taught the ability to, mold and build these characters. I was under the impression that you book the roles that fit you. You follow what I'm saying? So when I saw thug or when I saw drug dealer, I would jump at those because I felt like I don't have to act. I can, play those naturally, and nobody will know I'm not a good actor.
Right.
It's like my way of cheating. It was like nobody knows I'm not good because I'm playing roles that fit closer to my reality. After a while, they were like, all right, now you need to really act now.
Are you challenging yourself more? You're challenging yourself more now. Yeah.
Absolutely. I take the craft way more serious than I did before. So now it's like, oh no, you have to learn things. There's techniques, there's methods that you have to apply. And I actually teach those. I've been teaching for about 8 years now.
Nice. Okay. Now you have also spoken publicly about personal struggles with mental health. You know what I mean? What made you decide to kind of share that publicly?
I don't know what people believe, but I just feel like God has a calling on all our lives. And I feel like me surviving a lot of the things that I went through was God. And it was more about him saying, I'll get you out of this, but you can't front. You got to tell the truth. You know what I mean? And I'm a little late on that promise. So a lot of times it's like I have to remind myself to speak out more about it and be brutally honest about it so that somebody else could potentially look at my story and go, okay, if he made it through, if he's still successful, if if he's still blessed, I can't be too. It's not over for me. You know what I mean? So that's my incentive on really telling people like, yo, man, you could be going through the worst time in your life. Just don't give up, because that next year could be the one. Like, you know what I mean? Just don't quit. The worst thing you could do is give up. And I'm living testament to that. But I wouldn't have been able to do it without God at all.
And what have those experiences like? How did they change the way you approach life and work?
Man, it gave me more grace, I think, and humility. It's not about me as much as I thought it was. I'm a lot calmer. I just try not to take everything so personal, you know, because everybody's going through something. So when I'm working and I'm doing sets, I kind of do my best to not let, you know, what I have going on mentally and personally affect my work so that other people aren't affected by it. I think about my actions in regards to like how I want other people to perceive me a lot more than I used to. You know.
And are there any projects or roles that you're like in this stage of your career most like, you know, what are you most excited about now in this stage of your career?
Writing and producing. I produced 2 movies recently, and I'm not even in them. I wrote the movies, but I'm not in them, and I loved it. I love not being in the movie. I like the idea of creating these characters and then having someone who is excited about taking the role, get the role, and go through that whole process. It doesn't do the same thing it used to do for me anymore. Right. So I want to provide that for someone else now. That high, you know what I mean? Of audition, you get the role, you know. I want to be able to provide those for people and create these stories. I get more of a thrill, I think, out of that more than I do acting. I love acting still, but it would have to be something that's super challenging for me to want to do it as an actor.
Nice. Now, you know, people go through things and ups and downs, but what keeps you inspired every day to continue growing?
Just getting to the end of the story, man, and having it be a happy ending. I think that's what inspires me the most. I've gone through enough hell. At some point, people need to see the light at the end of the tunnel in my life. Like, okay, he did. You know what I mean? It keeps me going more than anything. Like, yo, I have to show people that, you know, there's a win in the end. I have to. I think that's what drives me the most.
I love that. So I think, what time is it? Oh, it's time.
Ask me something juicy.
It's time. So I'm gonna throw it. This is the time. This is the portion of our show where we get to have a little fun and laugh and you know, reminisce a little. So the premise of our show is we do a little digging back in the crates. We like, it's like it's a love letter to like hip hop culture and so forth. So we have this game that we play. Arson is gonna tell you about the game, and then you can decide whether or not you want to play.
Okay. Markice, how you doing, man? It's a pleasure to have you here, brother. Pleasure. The name of the game at this time it's called Playtime. Now, this is how the game works, man. This is your mission should you choose to accept it, bro. We got a wheel, and we got 6 songs on the wheel. All right. Whatever song it lands on, you tell us where was you at the time of this song was released, how did it inspire you to do music or movies, or your most embarrassing moment when the song was out. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Your mission should you choose to accept it, man.
I accept it.
Well, let's roll.
All right. What? What was that, 6 or something? I have no idea.
Ice Cube. Today was a good day.
Like 6 or 7. I have no idea why I was this.
Wait, you're young.
Yeah. What year did that song come out? 94?
Something like that.
It wasn't. It was 95, actually. 95. It was
95. I was in Edison, New Jersey. I tell you that much. And I was like integrating into a white school system coming from New Brunswick. And I was listening to like Slipknot and fucking Limp Bizkit and shit like
Slipknot.
that. Yes, porn and all that type of shit at that time. So I was trying to get away from hip hop at that moment to fit in with the crowd, the people at the school. I remember that.
Wow.
But yeah, now this song wasn't really impressionable on me like that.
Yeah,
I like the beat. That's my shit though.
All right, let's keep it rolling. Keep it rolling. What happened?
Same.
What year was this one?
Nah, that's a Snoop Dogg Gin and Juice.
But it's the same time, right? Like,
yeah.
94, 95.
Yeah, kind of, sort of. Yeah, it was like 90. It's like early, like 96, 95. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah.
Same thing. Listening to Slipknot and shit, trying to be a white boy.
Let's give us let's move on to the next one.
Here we go.
There we go.
56.
That's interesting.
21 questions.
There you go.
50 was my
favorite. About time I picked one.
Fifth was my favorite rapper at that time. I was 16 when that song came out. I just got my first record deal, and I was on tour with Genuine. And I met 50 Cent during that time when that record was out, literally at his birthday party. It was him, Jay-Z, Missy Elliott, the whole G Unit, and who else was there? Somebody else was there. Busta Rhymes. Nice. And Jay, I got a chance to introduce myself to Jay-Z. He shook my hand and said, "Good luck." And it was the coldest interaction I ever had with a celebrity. I was fucked up by it. But the funny thing is, I met 50 a couple minutes later, and he fully embraced me. It was more like, "Come here, little nigga," like put his arm around me, show love. And because of him, I looked at celebrities different. I was like, because I was crushed by the Jay-Z thing, but when I met Fifth, it was different. I'm like, okay, it's some people in here I could rock with. And yeah, shout out to Fifth for that. He really inspired me at that age. Maybe could have crushed me. Had I not come out with 50 later that day, that could have crushed me.
Wow.
Yeah. Do you have
so
any
Jay just said good luck? That's crazy. He just said good luck.
And I waited for him. He probably won't remember that shit, and I waited. His bodyguards had me wait. He went to the bathroom. He comes out, and literally my manager was like, "Yo, you know the little kid you talking about eating the Apple Jacks and writing his rhymes in the kitchen?" He said, "This him." He looked at me, said, "Good luck." Shook my hand. Walked off.
That's some dry shit right there, Jesus.
Good luck.
Damn, that's cold.
That's cold.
Yeah,
that was pretty cold. Yeah, that was. But who knows what he was going through? Now I'm in a celebrity space. I get it, but I try not to be that guy.
Yeah, maybe he was having a bad day.
Could have been having a bad day.
Let's roll it off the back. Boom. What we got going on here? Booyaka.
Beautiful.
Oh yeah. My man Tupac. Dear Mama.
Oh man. I think I was with my mom then. 94. Crying to this song. I was a mama's boy. I was a little bitch. I was a little mama's boy. But yeah, this song is special, man. I felt like I related to this song a lot. And when I got mad at my mom, I would always say a specific line on that song. You know, the line where he's like, in regards to it being her fault. I would say that line loud as hell. Oh, yeah, that's a special song. Me and my mom sing it to each other. That's a special.
Aww.
Yeah, for sure.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
Say one more time, Tasha, so we can all feel it.
That's so shut up. I asked you.
Yeah.
All right, we gonna keep it rolling.
Keep it rolling.
Tossing in his face.
Oh my goodness.
I don't see the thing anymore.
Oh, don't even worry about it. We got you.
Where's the wheel?
Don't worry about the wheel.
Where's the wheel?
What's going on?
Guess who it is? I'll let you know who it is right now. Bam.
All right, cool.
There you go. Eminem. Man.
Ooh, that's a
Another
song.
one of my favorite rappers of all time. I was a livid Eminem fan. And when that song came out, again, I had to relate it back to my mom. Me and Mom's was beefing. I remember like literally handwriting all of his lyrics, like listening to the album and handwriting all the lyrics. Eminem had me angry as hell as a teenager. I think that had me mad. He was my favorite rapper though. So now
But
I'm
listening to the
resting.
music, it's like when you're driving and you would listen to certain music, you got to drive real fast.
Yeah, Eminem had me right here. School shooting. I was Eminem
That's
had me on one.
funny.
Eminem
Oh my
had me
gosh.
on one. I loved Eminem and 50 Cent had me at that time. And I would say the Locks. Those are like my main.
Oh
I listen to
yeah.
them. Locks, Eminem, 50 Cent. I ain't really like Dipset and all that. They was corny to me.
Do we have any more, Rebel? What's going on, bro? Rebel.
All right, we got one more. Dre,
Yep.
still Dre. What year was that?
Still
Was it
Dre.
2000? Was that the Chronic album or no?
Yes, that was. That was 2000.
2000.
Yeah.
That's Y2K. I was still in Edison. Kind of young. Lit,
Was that public? That's a public school or middle school?
That was middle school.
Okay. Dang.
Yeah. And yeah, I was in middle school when that song came out. But that's when everybody was afraid of Y2K. We all thought the world was gonna end.
Yes. And then he came out with the album Y2K, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We thought that shit was over with. So that was we thought that was the
Yes.
last album of the year of our lives.
Yeah. All the computers are gonna shut down and you're not gonna be able to. Yeah.
They had us shook.
Remember New Year's Eve, everybody was like,
everybody was scared on New Year's Eve. My father played a trick on us too. He turned all the lights off and had us scared and shit.
Oh my gosh.
That's what I was doing during that time. Getting ready for Y2K and water. That was insane.
Oh my gosh. All right. So that was the last song. We're going to wrap up. But before we wrap up, tell us, like, when you reflect on everything that you've experienced, what are you the most proud of?
That I didn't quit. I think that.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, everybody is a villain at some point in their story. Everybody, nobody's going to have a perfect story. But I feel like the ones who don't quit, they get their glory eventually, So it's just like, I'm proud. I'm very proud of myself for not giving up as many times as I felt like I should have or could have. It would have been easy to. I didn't. And I think my children, more than anything, are proud of me for it.
Now, what message do you want to leave with people who followed your story or like, maybe inspired by your journey?
I would say, what message I want to leave people with? God is real. God is real. And if you let him use you, he will show you himself. He'll reveal himself to you if you let him. I guess that's the message.
Absolutely.
Amen.
And what's next? What's next for Markice Moore?
What's next for Markice Moore? So if you guys go on Amazon bookstore, I have 5 novels that I've written over the past 2 years. I'm stepping into that mold a lot. I think the biggest thing for me is owning my intellectual property in the next couple of years, building a base of intellectual property and providing, my consumer fan base with a consistent flow of my products, whether it's movies, whether it's books, whether it's music, all under my umbrella, not controlled by anyone else. I think that's what. Yeah.
That's amazing. You have a question, Austin?
Yes, I do. Markice, this is a question I've been dying to ask somebody that was on the show. And with you being on the show, bro, I got to ask because it was mind-boggling to me. How did you feel about the way Snowfall ended, man? Because that was like mind-boggling to me how it ended, yo. How did you feel about that? And you being on the show?
How did I feel about that? I thought it was dope. I thought the ending was dope only because we haven't seen the ending like that. We never,
right.
You know what I mean? That was the first time I saw something that raw and real.
Yeah.
It happens just like that in the hood. You know, we usually see the guy go to jail or die, which is kind of glorious. It's glorified a little bit. But to see a person completely stripped of everything they were and still have to live in that space is kind of scary. And we needed to see something
crazy, man. Yeah, because to me, it was like he ended up being what he hated the most, and that was he turned into being his father. And I was like, wow.
And the worst version of it.
Yeah. I was like, wow.
And the
I
worst
had
version.
to ask him, bro.
Poetic.
It was deep. Sins of the father.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I
Markice,
got.
give us your social media handles. Let
My social
everyone know
security
where to follow
number is 135-29-4636. Just boost my credit up if y'all want to. Is that it? Just my social media is at Markice Moore INC all across the board.
I was like, wait, it took me a second. Like my brain didn't register what you were saying at first. It took like a quick second.
Yeah, that's me all across the board. Markice Moore INC.
Okay. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for coming and
I
spending a
appreciate
few
y'all.
minutes with us. Of course. We are streaming where the culture lives, wherever the culture is living. That's where you'll see us streaming through Blazing 420 WPAM on iHeartRadio. So thank you so much again, Markice. Yes. Guys, thank you for showing up as usual.
Come on, you already know, baby. It's what we do.
Yeah, salute to the
Yeah.
team.
Salute to
Definitely
the
Yeah.
team.
Marquise.
So
Yeah.
let me just give a shout out to Miss Rosa Fox because she did want to be here, but she could not be here this
All
evening. And
right,
also
Rosa.
our she's our program director, and also JC John Cunningham, who is our booking manager. So
Rosa,
shout out to
John.
those guys. We love you guys. All
Yes.
right. Thank you so much
Thank
again,
you for having me.
Marquise.
All right,
Take care.
Marquise.
All
See
right,
you.
Marquise,
guys.
appreciate you, bro. Thank you.
All right.
Peace. They were good people.